Hello everyone, this is Albert Espinoza and this is my week 3 video for MPA 594 Comprehensive Exam Seminar with Dr. Sundstrom at CBU. And in this week's presentation, I will be going over a scenario which required a change in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. And I'll tie it in on how theories of public administration were applied to make the situation work for the city and in the end the taxpayers. So with that, let's get started. The scenario at the city involves collisions and cost recovery. Typically, drunk drivers and motorists who aren't paying attention to the road damage city infrastructure such as streetlights, traffic signal poles, street signs, and trees, which cost the city and taxpayers thousands of dollars if the city doesn't go after these motorists who caused the damage to pay for what they did. The three themes used in the creation of this new process include efficiency, the division and coordination of work, and of course communication. For several years, the Public Works Department had written forms which were used in the past for cost recovery, but this process required updating and a better way of making it more efficient for staff to input information from the field the day of a collision. So with the help of the IT department, they created the software necessary to improve the workflow for the Public Works on-call team to respond and gather data related to traffic collisions out in the field. Specifically, the cost of the damage, the cost for the staff to respond, and the insurance information of the motorist who caused the collision, as well as a police report. We incorporated technology, and using iPads and iPhones, anyone can easily be trained on the app who's on the on-call team, which is rotated weekly, and a one best way of gathering information and statistics of the collision was created. So this was the first step for the city to recover its asset loss because of a traffic collision, and the use of scientific management allowed the city to streamline and create this workflow process. As a deputy director, I was tasked with making the cost recovery process more efficient, which required working with several departments and divisions. Incorporating POSCorp was necessary to make this happen. So the process took several months to plan out with several team members within the city, which included the finance team, risk management, and sheriff staff, along with public works to create a workflow. A formal structure was organized and key staff was identified as part of the process from each department to ensure the cost recovery process would not fall through any cracks. I was initially involved in directing and coordinating decisions on the proposed process with the feedback of various key staff to ensure the program would be a success. The gathering of the data and reporting by the Public Works Coordinator and the Sheriff's team is important so risk management can follow on the claim with the insurance company of the motorist who caused the damage to city property. And then once risk management processes the claim and receives a check from the insurance company, the budgeting comes into place and the finance team then places the funds back into the line item accounts, which will be used to pay staff's overtime and the cost to replace the damaged city infrastructure. So these 7 elements of POSCorp are instrumental or were instrumental in making sure the cost recovery process was a success. So there were several informal phone calls and side meetings with various individuals by myself to get a feel for the proposed process and ensure individuals from Public Works, Finance, Risk Management, and the Sheriff's team would be comfortable before we had any formal meetings to solidify and make any final decisions on the process. These informal means of communication and using my work relationships made this proposed internal process possible once we reached those formal means of communication. So once we did have those big meetings, everyone was already on board and on the same page because of my informal tactics to make sure we were all headed in the right direction. Of course, this is government, and it took several months and meetings to get the process established, but we incrementally made it work and muddled through like a typical government agency. We did evolve old forms and an outdated process to make sure the city and its constituents weren't the ones left to pay for the damages. Once a process was created within Public Works, I took a theory Y approach and staff responded. They took responsibility and were self-motivated for this process, and they made improvements to the electronic forms by working with IT, and they took great pride in making sure we did this properly, and the city recovered what was needed based off of these collisions. And they've been able to keep this process going for over a year now, and we've been able to recover over $500,000. So I'm sure our constituents would like to hear that, and I know our city manager is really happy. And again, this process seems simple enough, and no wicked problem should come from this, except when individuals pass away from the collision. Found out from risk management that they did not process 2 claims this past year because the individuals died, and they felt bad going after the families because these 2 individuals did not have insurance. Now, someone may ask, so why should the taxpayers in the city take on this burden for these 2 individuals not being responsible? That could lead to a wicked problem, considering we have implemented this thorough, detailed process, and for the most part, we've been going after anyone who has caused damage to city infrastructure. But these 2 individuals got a pass because they passed away and did not have insurance. So again, this could lead to a wicked problem in government, especially if we have a stringent process, but we made 2 exceptions for these individuals. So these are other theories and themes that were also part of the process. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. Can't wait to see your comments and look at your videos. Have a great one, and God bless. Bye.